Hello, this is Zamanzadeh from ZZNetworking.com. In order to see better, press this icon to view full screen. In the previous tutorials, I discussed with you joining multiple tables and using the IN clause. Just a reminder, joining two tables and more than two tables is very similar. All you have to do is add an AND condition and then continue coding where you want to join the tables in the common column. We'll discuss that briefly in the following videos. In this video, we're going to go ahead and talk about something called the exists operator. Now, in the last video, I showed you that you can use two different methods to find information. You can join two tables together or multiple tables together, or you can use the IN operator. Well, there's actually a third way called the exists operator. So let's go ahead and code the following to show that. Suppose we want to find the order number, the order date for a part number 125. Well, let's go ahead and first query the orders table. Here we can see the order number and the order date, but not the part number. So if we go ahead and query the order line table, we can now see the part number and the order number, and part number 125 is our first row. Its order number is 111. Now, suppose since we want to find the order number and order date from the orders table where the part number is 125, we can always use the IN operator. And to do this, in the following code, you can see I said select order number, order date from orders where order number in, and then my inner query, which executes first, I said select order number from the order line table where part number is 125. If we go ahead and execute this inner query, we see that the order number 111 and 777 correlates to part number 125. We then pass this answer back to our outer query where we're selecting the order number and order date from the orders table where the order number is in this answer. We execute the two together, and sure enough we get order number 111 and 777, and we get the order dates next to them. Now, there's of course another way of doing this. We can use the exists operator. Now for the exists operator, it's coded very similarly. Only difference is in the where condition we use the word exists and we do not use the column name. In addition, in the select statement, instead of using the column name, we select all columns. So for this, we simply say this. In our inner query, we're selecting all columns from the order line table where, and here we have to qualify the tables with a common column. We say where orders.order_number, the order number column in the orders table, equals the order number column in the order line table by saying equals orderline.order_num. And our condition is part num has to equal 125. When this is executed, this query executes first and then passes the answer to our outer query where we say select order number and order date from the orders table where exists the answer that's passed back to this outer query. We execute this, and sure enough we get exactly the same information. Order number 111, 777, and their dates. Now, there's yet a third way of doing this, and that's by joining the tables themselves. Since we want the order number from the orders table, and since order number appears in both the orders and order line table, we have to qualify by saying select orders.order_num, order date from our two tables, order line and orders, where orders.order_number, the order number column from the orders table, equals the order number column from the order line table, and part num equals 125. We execute this query, and sure enough, we get exactly the same results. Let's try another example of these three select statements. Suppose now we would like to find the rep number, the first name and last name of the representative for the customer number 705. How can we do this? Well, using the same three syntaxes. First, let's go ahead and select all from the customer table. Now in the customer table, we do have the rep column, but we don't have the first name or last name. And we do have the customer number, and if you scroll down, you'll see that customer number 705 is right here where I highlighted it. Now, since we're trying to find the representative who represents this customer, we can go ahead and join the two tables. We say select. Well, first let's go ahead and look at the rep table. In the rep table, we have, once again, the rep num column. We have the first name and last name columns, but we don't have the customer number. So, in order to find this, we can say select rep num from the rep table, first name and last name from our two tables, rep and customer, where the rep number in the rep table equals the rep number in the customer table, and the customer number equals 705. We execute this, and sure enough, we get that rep number 25, Aaron Sam, is a representative for customer number 705. Now let's try this using the in clause. Here in the in clause, once again, we could separate the two queries. We have, in our inner query, select rep number from customer, where customer number equals 705. The answer should have obviously be 25, and sure enough, we get that answer. The answer then gets passed to our outer query, where we say select rep num first name, last name from the rep table, where rep num in this answer, which is 25. And when we execute this query, we get, once again, rep number 25, first name Aaron, last name Sam. Well, let's go ahead and use the exist operator. So once again, we have to select our columns, rep number, first name, and last name from the rep table. And in the where condition, we don't list any columns. We simply say where exists. We open up our inner query, which says select all columns from the customer table. We then qualify the customer table to the rep table. We say where rep num in the rep table equals rep num in the customer table. And then we say, we add the condition and customer number equals 705. That answer gets passed back to our outer query, where we're selecting our columns from the rep table where this condition exists. We execute this block, and sure enough, we will get exactly the same results. Rep number 25, first name Aaron, last name Sam. Now, since this may be a little confusing because we're doing 3 different codes to get the same results, something that I think will help you is go ahead and look here on the side where I have the notepad open. Go ahead and copy down the question along with the code you see under here. You may want to pause your video, copy this all down, and try and understand the logic behind it, not so much the column names or table. Try and understand the logic and order of events that take place. You want to also pause your video and copy down the second example, which I have here, and when you're done with that, unpause your video. And finally, to help you out, you may want to pause your video and copy down the following syntax. Here I show you joining tables. The syntax is you select the column names from the table names where conditions are true. This is where you join tables in this section. Using the in clause, where you select column names from a table name where a common column is in. Then you open up your subquery. You select your common column name from a table where the condition is true. And finally, using the exist clause, you select column names from a table name where exists. You don't mention any column here. In your inner query, you select all columns from a table name. In the where clause, you have to join your 2 tables on a common column and add any conditions. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you for your time, and may God bless you.